I'm Mike Halleen, and this is the Halleen Machine. The Halleen Machine is software that you can run on the same machine as ComfyUI to add additional functionality such as a timeline and asset management. I'm going to show you how to adapt it to use a Klein workflow for character consistency. So I'm going to open a workflow that I downloaded the other day. This is a Klein workflow that uses a reference image and a prompt to create a new scene with a consistent character. Before I can get this running on my machine, I need to change the checkpoint to something that will fit into my VRAM. So I'm just going to quickly swap this out with a different node and an appropriate model for my device. This is standard ComfyUI user stuff. Now I'm going to add the reference image and just edit the prompt, which came as a she. I'm going to change that to he and run the workflow. Excellent. There is my character adhering to my prompt. So this workflow is ready to go. I made only minor changes. Now I'm going to export this workflow using Export API. This will save this file as a JSON file that can be used by the machine. I'll go to the Halleen Machine install folder and choose workflows. This is where all the other workflows for the machine are stored. They were all exported the same way. I'm going to call this one Klein and save it. Now I'll switch to the Halleen Machine. I've got a keyframe ready to go here with a prompt containing a wildcard with 3 options: man on the street, on the moon, or in the ocean. This is using the standard SDXL defaults just to get a baseline. So here's our man on the moon. Now let's change the workflow to our Klein workflow. I'll go to advanced, find the workflow dropdown, change from the default to our Klein that we just saved, and now run this workflow. Well, that's obviously the workflow, but it ignored my prompt. I've still got the baked in prompt of the man sitting in the chair. It also is the wrong size. This is a square image when my project should be more of a 16 by 9. As you can see here in the project definition, it should be 1152 by 768. So the workflow worked, but skipped 2 things. Let's fix that. So here, back to the workflow. I'm going to make 2 changes. I'm going to select the prompt node and rename it main prompt. That's all I need for the machine to find that node and inject my prompt. For the image size, I need to rewire these nodes to listen now to this new image blank object. Right now, the reference image is driving both the character injection and the output size through this node here. So I'm going to rewire that node to my new image blank node. The image blank node will automatically be found by the machine and overwritten for the output width and height, but the reference image will continue to flow into the rest of the workflow to do the character injection. I'm going to export this again and overwrite the same file in the same location. Now back to the machine. Now I'm going to generate, I've got the Klein workflow selected here. Hopefully, instead of seeing this square image with the man in the chair, I'm going to get a 16 by 9 image using one of these prompts, but with the character injection. All right, this time the wildcard picked the man on the street. Now there's the man on the moon. And there's the man in the ocean. So this is showing the wildcard functionality of the machine with the character injection from Klein. You may have noticed this image is hard-coded into the workflow, so this workflow will only ever produce this character. However, you can still edit your prompts, add new keyframes, and use the Halleen Machine to manage generation, batch generation, animation, keyframing, picking your winners from among all the generations in each keyframe, and so on. In a future version, I will improve the integration so that you can pick your references more dynamically. You should be able to do this with practically any image generation workflow. If you just know the key parts to rename, I'll drop a guide for that into the description. It also supports LoRa injection and seed control. So as long as you're comfortable making your own workflows, you can export them and add them here to this list and use them within the Halleen machine, so you can take advantage of the machine's convenience tools of building a timeline and automatically managing generations for you. These videos were created using this flow and also a cascading generation feature that will be released in a new upcoming version. This is useful in creating LoRa training data or just for fun, but it will also quickly output various versions based on the same character. Anyway, let me know what you think. I'm going to keep working on it. Thanks for watching.